Welcome to Healing Highs with Laura, where we talk about the highlights and serendipitous moments of our healing journeys. I'm Laura. Thank you for joining me. Our topic today is manifestation, or how, in other words, to align with divine source and what divine source wants you to receive. I'm going to go through a lot of ways you can manifest, and this is a short list compared to what is out there and what I've tried and learned in my very young life. First up is the power of positive thinking. The idea that your thoughts inform your words, which informs your actions, then calls things into your life. So observing your thoughts and words and shifting them into the positive, maybe saying affirmations. So if you're hearing yourself say things like you're broke, then this will be reinforced with you being broke, and you'll find ways to subconsciously and consciously prove yourself right. So why not prove to yourself that the universe is working for you? Another way is with the law of attraction. What you focus on, you will attract to you. You can practice visualization, sit and visualize what you want. By visualizing what we want to happen, we visualize it right now as if it's happening right now, not in the future. You can create a vision board, whether that's digitally or physically. So like using something like Pinterest, or actually, making a board with pictures from magazines of things that you want to call into your life. And this can often make you feel like the goal is more tangible. And it gives you a visual reminder of what your goals are, and that can help motivate you. There's some other ways to do vision boards, which is like have a box that you decorate and then you put things in that box that you want to come true. I think it's like a future box or a wish box or something like that. So it's a similar idea. And then I don't know if you've heard of this. It's like the 7-7-7 method or the 10-10-10. And it's basically 7, and there's some other ones too, I think, other numbers, but 7-7-7 is writing down the things you want to call into your life 7 times in the morning, 7 times in the afternoon, 7 times at night. And then 10-10-10 is a little different. It's writing 10 things you're grateful for, 10 things you enjoy doing, and 10 things you want to manifest. And I like that because a lot about manifestation is getting your vibration into the right state and bringing gratitude into that as well, so that when you write the things you enjoy doing, you're bringing your vibration up. And then when you write the things you're grateful for, you're moving into an energy of that you've received something and you're grateful for it. So it really, to me, helps support a lot of what manifestation is all about. So I like that one, the 10-10-10 one. You can also use sacred geometry. You can look for the different shapes, what they hold in their energy. And I've tried this a little bit, not very much. I would actually like to do it more because it seems fun. You can even like find the shapes and then cut them and just tape them to things. You don't have to draw it out because some of them are really complicated. But you find the shapes for the things that you want, and then you put them on your water, on your food, on your computer, whatever it is. So it holds the energy of that within, what you're drinking, and so that you're, having that energy through your body. I really like that one. I've done that one a little bit, maybe it was like 4 or 5 years ago, the first time that was introduced to me, and I loved that idea, but I haven't done it enough, and I think it would be fun to do that again. A few years ago, I did a manifestation workshop online for a lot of people, and I sort of took everything that I was doing or had learned and put it into this way of giving them ideas of how to manifest, but then support their manifestations. And I sort of similarly to the 7-7-7 or 10-10-10 kind of thing, I came up with this little phrase to help us easily remember what it is are the important points of manifestation, and making sure we hit those points and how to hit those points. So mine is see it, feel it, thank it. And then there's another little piece that we'll add later. So the first part is to see it, AKA visualize it. So visualize it in the present moment, that you're living in the home you want to live in. You're there seeing what it looks like to look out the windows. You're walking around in that home. You're going in the bedrooms, looking at the garden that you love, and your animals are there, your family is there, whatever it is, you are visualizing that you are there right now. It's already in your life. So that's the see it part. And then feel it. This is, to me, one of the biggest parts of manifesting. When we are calling these things in, our vibration has to match the frequency of those things. So when we can feel them as if we're having them right now, they're happening in our life, that allows our vibration to start to blend with the vibration of those things, and it calls it in more quickly. So feel it. Example of manifesting your home. We could feel what it feels like to be in that home. We feel really happy that we're there, feel the sun on our face, feel the love of the memories that we're creating, and what it's like to wake up there, cook your meals, just being there. What is it, when you're visualizing it, what does it feel like? So we're in the frequency of it, we're in that vibration, and now those things are coming closer to us aligning with them. And then lastly, thank it, which is have gratitude, so that, if you've done enough healing work, that when you are creating something or aligning with something, when it's recommended to have gratitude, because then we are in the state of, someone gives you something, you say thank you. So you're in the state of, I'm receiving this, and that allows you, again, you're in the present moment, visualizing it, feeling it, and now I'm giving gratitude as if it's already in my life right now. And again, that helps it for you to align with that more easily. So this little phrase, see it, feel it, thank it. And there's one more, like I said, little piece that we'll add on to that. Then you can even take all of that further to do a Pinterest board, to do a vision board, the wish box. You can do all of that because, again, that just supports you being in the frequency of having those positive thoughts, saying those affirmations, and you're in that vibration more, living in the vibration of those things that you want to manifest or call in, however you want to describe it. Also, something really important to know is there can be blocks or barriers to your manifestations. Sometimes it has to do with our divine timing. So with going into those types of things, you would want to do some deeper healing to find out what are the barriers that are keeping me from allowing this into my life. What are the limiting beliefs I have that could be creating a block for me? Why am I not receiving that thing that I'm trying so hard for? And there's different ways that you can, go about shifting that. And remember, we're not only manifesting things in our life, but we can also create experiences. We can manifest feelings. If you want more joy in your life, you can create that. You can call that in. You can call in new friends, different friendships, relationships, really anything. I've given you a few possible ways, but there's so much more out there that you can do to support this. And I'm sure in the future we'll do another episode on these things. This episode is sponsored by Seva Tea, handcrafted for the conscious soul. Deeply rooted in the ancient wisdom of Ayurveda, each sip, Seva Tea invites you on a sacred journey of self-care, elevating your soul through a mindful practice. Seva Tea is available at Seva Tea Lounge inside Kavala Wellness in Long Beach, California, and on Etsy. Learn more at Seva Tea Lounge on Instagram. So whenever you're doing any of this, you're basically creating the momentum you need to continue to align with everything that you deserve. And that's something important to remember. Sometimes we have these limiting beliefs that tell you can only have so much, or not everyone can have everything. What if I get all that I want and then something goes wrong? So then your subconscious is sort of keeping you from those things, thinking, well, you don't really think that you deserve those things, or you're afraid if you get them, something will happen. So, all of those things I believe are limiting beliefs, and you can shift those. And it's important that you do, because they're not just blocking those specific ideas, they're blocking you in general too. So it's really important to look at, how am I contributing to the barrier or the block? What have I learned from society, the collective consciousness, my family, my genetics, about what I'm capable of, and making sure that you're doing your healing work so that you can manifest more easily. And I always tell, in these podcasts, a personal story related to the topic, but in preparing for this episode, was really having a hard time, because for me, manifesting is sort of an ongoing current in my life, that I will manifest small to big things all the time, where I'll sit and do the work and do the deeper healing, or make the list, or whatever it is. And then I'll just in the day be manifesting small things throughout the day. So it could be a parking spot, or a certain way that I want my day to go, a way I want to feel at the end of the day. And so I just feel like it's an ongoing thing that I'm always doing. So it was actually really hard for me to think of really specific examples that were just like straightforward. I've manifested trips out of the country, Hawaii, clients, students, this podcast. I've called in where I live, my friends, expanding on my positive emotions. And like I said, it's just an ongoing thing that I believe I can do. And depending on how large the item or feeling is, or experience is, I may have to do more work around it. I may have to check in and be thinking, well, I've been doing this for a little bit and it's not happening. Maybe there's some barriers there, and look at that and do some healing on that and shift that. But I like to stay in the frequency and align with all the things I think I deserve, which I think we all deserve anything that we want. And so I'm just always looking at, like, what do I need to do to help me align with that? Another important aspect of manifesting is talking about detachment of outcome, letting go of the how. So actually, when I talked earlier about my little see it, feel it, thank it, this is the other piece of that, which is see it, feel it, thank it, and let go of the how. We have to let go of the how. We have to let go and detach from the outcome. We can't focus on how is this going to happen, or it seems impossible, which is a belief. Where would that come from? We can't worry about the details. We just need to see it, feel it, thank it, let go of how it comes to us, how we discover it. I will tell, this does remind me of a really brief story that I've told many times in my classes that I teach, because it's a pretty straightforward example. I was walking to an old job, and I'd been there maybe 6 months, and it was a new year. So, it's like you're in that fresh energy, and I was in a manifesting state. So as I was walking from my car to the building, I was saying, I am abundant with every step, kind of like a walking meditation. And I got into the building, I saw the receptionist, and she said, I have something for you. And she told me, because I was a contract employee, so I didn't get vacation days and holiday pay, things like that. I just told them when I could be there, and I went. And she said, we had you in the system wrong for the last couple months. With the new year, we're changing everything and we're updating it. So we need to pay you for a bunch of holiday pay because you didn't get it. And, because that wasn't something that I, wasn't a full-time job, I just felt weird. Like, well, good for them to be in integrity and say, we did it wrong. We want to make it right. And to do that, we need to give you money. they could have just switched me and said, it was a mistake, let it go. But she hands me this check and it was like $500, $600. And I couldn't have predicted that would happen. I couldn't have thought, oh, this is how that money will come, or whatever that thing I want to do, money will just come from my work randomly. They'll pay me extra. I was just in alignment with it and it appeared. So that's like a great example of me just being like in this flow of abundance, and there it is in a way that I could not have expected. So I'm actually going to add to this story because that happened, I'd say like 2017, 18. And I was telling this story at the beginning of this year in a class on a Sunday. And the very next day, I got a W-2 from that same company that I haven't worked for in years. And the exact same thing basically happened. It was just slightly different. I called and said, hey, I got this W-2. It's saying you paid me last year for something. I didn't get a check, but also I don't work there. I'm trying to understand what happened. And they said, oh yeah, we sent you a check because the company sold. And in going through everything and closing everything out, we need to pay you for some like vacation time that you didn't take. But again, I was a contract employee. I didn't get vacation time. So the person on the phone is explaining all of this to me, and I'm practically arguing with her saying, no, I shouldn't get this money. It's not right. And she's telling me, no, it is right. We have you here that you should have gotten vacation pay. When the company sold, we need to give you this money. And we sent you a check last year, and here's the W-2 for it. In the end, we figured out like I never got the check. So they actually resent it, and here it is. I got more money, and I'm, it's just funny because I'm like arguing with her about it, and it's like, I need to just receive the money. Right. So yeah, in the end, they resent another check. I got the money, and it was just wild because it was 24 hours after I told the story of what happened in, 7 years ago. And it just kind of added to it that now there's this other part of the story that was an extension of that. So that one's a pretty straightforward story where like money just appeared out of nowhere in a way that I couldn't have told you would happen. But I also want to talk about that in the way that things show up when you manifest. Yes, that actual thing that you are trying to manifest, let's say you want to manifest a new car, that thing could get handed to you. Someone could say, oh, you need a new car? My grandma has a car. She never uses it. Just borrow it. Or you win a brand new car. Those things do happen where those things just fall out of the sky, so to speak. But there also is this idea that you are manifesting these things, and instead you get the job that helps you afford those things. Or you get the raise that helps you afford those things. Where the opportunity arises and you need to meet that opportunity. So there is that alternative kind of point of view of manifesting that it's not always just appearing to you, but it is where in some way those things are going to present themselves and you'll find yourself moving towards them. But you have to do that work and do that part on your end to take that step forward and make those things happen. I have a really good example I want to share with that. I heard this years ago, and I want to share it with you because it is another way that sometimes it's just about the opportunity coming up and that you're doing so much healing that you're now motivated to do those things than you would have been before, versus like manifesting something that just like appears in your life. So let's say you want to manifest that you lose weight. Sometimes you can heal so much that you just drop the weight. I've watched that happen with my clients where we've healed certain areas of their life and the weight literally just falls off of them over a period of weeks. Then other times I've seen people heal so much that it changes their relationship with food, or that they want to move more. And again, that's them doing their part in it. The opportunities are opening up. There's something changing and shifting that they manifested the ultimate outcome of that, the goal of that. Maybe now they have the energy to go to the gym, or they got the raise or the job that allows them to afford the gym that they couldn't afford before. So it is often, it can be handed to you, but other times it is about doing your part and meeting the opportunity to align with that. So on these solo podcasts, I like to give you a 5-minute meditation. And yes, I could take you through manifesting something for yourself today, but you can do that in any time, in any of these ways. So I would like to do something else that, as I was preparing for this, I really felt I wanted to do. And that is to use our collective energy, because what's so cool about the analytics of this podcast is that there are people all over the world listening to this. And I would love for us to do a meditation where we align with manifesting peace for the world and affect change in the collective consciousness. So if you're in a place where you can close your eyes, please do that. Let's take a deep breath and exhale. Feel the rise and fall of your chest and stomach as you breathe naturally. I want you to imagine that you are surrounded by a beautiful light of love. You feel that love deep in your heart, emanating out of you. And also you can sense it from all around you. Just enjoy that love vibration for a moment. Imagine what the collective consciousness looks like, or imagine the planet. And I want you to give that loving feeling that you're having to the collective consciousness or to the earth. And just observe what that looks like for you. Now, through that love, I want you to bring in peace energy. And observe how that looks different or feels different for you. Imagine that peace energy moving into the collective consciousness or into the earth, moving through all of it. Connect with every soul, every plant, every animal, bringing them peace and love. Now, give gratitude that this is our reality. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. Thank you for doing that with me today. As you know, we always end with a question to the void. Void, what did you look like as a baby or a young little void?
Gaseous form.
I don't know what else I expected. Yeah, makes sense. Little void. Thank you, healer, for joining us. And I wish you joy and serendipity on your healing journey. And I hope our paths cross again.